Hi, I'm Puffin. Thanks for watching. I'm here to talk about a smart revolution, and it's not a smartphone revolution or smart car revolution or something like that. It's a smart people revolution, and it's not like on The Simpsons where all the nerds took over the running of the government, and comic book guy said, procreation will only be once every 7 years. For many of you, this will be much less sex, but for many of us, much, much more. It won't be like that where like a certain type of people who are smart in a certain way are running everything. Um, it's about everyone being smart enough, and everyone is smart enough. Uh, it's about being as smart as you are. You already are smart enough to figure all this out. Don't click away if you think this is only for a certain type of smart people, because everyone is smart enough. You have the smarts you need. And it's like some people are smart in pretending to be stupid, and they're geniuses at it. But everyone has different intellectual abilities that suit their circumstances, how they grew up. But even the smartest people can do stupid things. Uh, People do stupid things all the time. But being stupid, being willfully stupid, or being duped into something that makes you stupid is bad for you and bad for everybody. Everyone is smart and has their own type of smarts. A lot of people are duped into thinking that they're too stupid to think for themselves, so they need to let someone else think for them. So of course the common uh, advice to think for yourself holds true here. And I just want to talk about some things to think about that I think anyone can figure out if you think about it for yourself. Because we really can make a good society. We're smart enough to do it, all of us together. And it's not just uh, about getting some people, the smartest people of a certain type, to do it. It's about getting everyone to use their smarts. That's what democracy is all about. We can get good leadership and good government if we have a well-educated and well-informed public. And we might have people being pretty well-educated, or a lot of people who are pretty well-educated, but even if they're not informed about what's actually going on, which is the situation we have now, then you can't have a good democracy with that. But if we do have even better education, and that's under threat right now too, um, but if they're trying to take out, after decades of trying to actually teach real things in American history, Trump is now trying to take those things out and return to a mythical white supremacist version of things. So we have to oppose that. There's a clear two sides here between what's smarter and smart people and what's stupid and stupid people. And Trump laid it out when he said, "We love the poorly educated." So in some ways, this is about educating yourself, getting whatever type of education you can. Like, I don't know anything about fixing cars, I never have, but I play a lot of video games really well, and I've educated myself in that. People can learn a lot of things on YouTube right now and educate yourself, but we also should have free college and everything, and probably some extra educational opportunities for people who have been duped into these treasonous ideas and supporting Trump. But that's maybe a subject for another video. Right now I want to talk about being as smart as you can be, and being smart about some things, because when we have a fascist regime, which we do, they do rely on stupid people and people being stupid. The smarter you are, the smarter you become. The smarter you're, I'm not talking to the smart people, I'm saying, no matter who you are, if you're being smart, you become smarter, and you make other people around you smarter. It's just something about intelligence. There is this universal truth that we're all participating in, that science is a good example of striving towards a universal truth that we can agree on, that we can test some things and figure some things out, so hey, we can all agree on this. Well, that's true for events and politics and stuff too. Some of this stuff has been lies, and some of it's been evil. And I don't want to get into all that too much, but just to say that lying isn't smart. It's going to come back to haunt you eventually. Somehow it's going to catch you up. Some people can be really smart at lying, but a really smart liar, you wouldn't ever know they were lying. Trump, we know he's lying, like he's not even smart. But if he can get enough people to be stupid enough, and you're not actually stupid people, but he's getting you to be stupid. If he can get people to be stupid enough, then he can come across as like some smart guy who's got his stuff together. Everybody's smarter than that. Everybody. We're all smart enough to see through that. And if you're not exercising those smarts, you're not using your brain for yourself, it's time to start, because the stakes are really high. And we can do this, but it's time to be as smart as you can be. I was thinking about calling this Get Smart, like the TV show, but it's not just about getting smarter, it's about being as smart as you already are, using the intellect and intelligence you already have. Like, there's some real clear cutoffs. Like, it's real obvious that Trump is a white supremacist and promoting white supremacy, and that's bad. And if you're smart enough, like emotionally, morally smart enough, then you already see that. If you're not, it's not really your own fault that you haven't had that education. It's part of a program to keep people stupid from realizing, hey, we do need these things. We do need, justice in our justice system, things like that. We need to root out systematic racism and sexism and prejudice of all types. That's what the whole American experiment is about. Now, there's a debate on the Supreme Court whether we get a conservative or liberal Supreme Court justice, and the whole debate comes down to these conservatives who believe in originalism, which is essentially that the way the founding fathers wanted it to be, what they thought, which is to maintain slavery and only white men with property can vote, that ideal, that system is what they want to get back to or hold to as much as they can. That's what being conservative is all about. It's really evil, but since we haven't called it out as such, it allows people to be stupid and be duped into this like it's some type of ideal, like the founding fathers were so great. Well, like, you're smarter than the founding fathers, like, let's put it that way. Like, whether you want to accept it or not, we know a lot more than they did, or you have access to learn a whole lot more than a lot of people did throughout history right now. We can do this. And one thing, another like cutoff thing that you can tell, if it's like, okay, so Trump is a white supremacist, that should be enough for you to be against it. Or like to know that anti-fascist means, or Antifa means anti-fascist, and that they're not the fascists. But when fascists have a program established from the Nazis to lie and say, accuse the other people of what you do, then that's why they call the anti-fascist the fascists, and etc. So if you can pass that little vocabulary test, then you're smart enough. You know that it's right, it's American to be anti-fascists. It's human to be anti-fascist. It's intelligent to be anti-fascist. Stupidity is kind of like a disease, or like a virus, that, just like the smarter you are, the smarter you get, the smarter you make other people. Well, the stupider you are, the stupider you're being, the stupider you get, and the stupider you make other people. And it's contagious like that, and collective like that. And we have a collective intelligence to overcome it. But the collective stupidity is kind of like evil, is pretty much the best way to put it. This collective, tenacious stupidity that wants to hold us back and has been doing this, for all of time. But we're more capable than ever before of overcoming it with the internet, things like that. Now, they've restricted the internet. Don't want to get into all that. But again, this cuts two ways. Are you smart enough? And yes, you are smart enough. You're smart enough. But be smart. Be as smart as you are. So, like, this is silly. I'm outside. There's no one around. I don't have to wear a mask. I'm wearing a mask just to show on that side of things. I wear a mask when I'm alone in my car because I know, I've seen the comments, oh, he's probably the type that wears a mask when he's alone in his car. Yes, I do it to make you mad and think there's more of us than there are of you. Like we better wear masks and do everything we can to shut this virus down, because the stupid people are trying to spread it, and the king stupid is trying to genocide everybody with it, and we have to stop that every way we can. So that's another cutoff, this vocabulary test, this mask wearing test. But the unfortunate thing is you can be the person who wants to take all precautions, but if other people put you in jeopardy, that stupid spreads, and it actually does spread as a virus now, which is evil and wrong, and we need to do something about that. We need to be smarter than that. And this new administration, or whatever administration we have to get to actually deal with these problems and these evil and this treason, then we'll get there and be smart in that way. So let's be as smart as we are. Let's deal with these things. Another cutoff, another thing that should be a big clue to people is flat earth theory. So many of the people who support Trump also believe the earth is flat, which is a Nazi belief as well. But like this crazy stuff that like people have known the earth was round a lot longer than we in the West think about it. When you think about these ancient societies that have all this astrology, they didn't come up with that stuff thinking that the earth was flat. So ancient people, and people have for a long time known this stuff, known a lot more about reality than we have known lately. And there's been a dark ages in this Western civilization for much longer than that, that allows certain ideas such as flat earth to pervade. Like in our history, in Western history, we have this idea that we got over our flat earth belief, that it extended back into time immemorial when somebody sailed around the world. Like really, like, yeah, maybe people had been thinking it was flat. Most people in Europe had been thinking it was flat, but the rest of the world wasn't thinking that. The rest of the world wasn't duped into some flat earth bullshit for thousands and millions of years. Like, other people had it figured out. Certain people were made stupid. And then, the reality of the situation was proven like 500 years ago to even this stupid population. Yeah, and it took a little while and didn't sink in, and some people never accepted it. And those stupid ideas, the power of the organizations that relied on keeping people stupid, was promoted by those organizations. So while those things have cropped back up in the form of Nazism in Germany and Trump in America now, and Bolsonaro in Brazil and Modi in India, because these are all leaders that Putin picked with Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg and Putin picked these people. Now Zuckerberg's supposed to be smart. Putin's supposed to be smart. These people are supposed to be smart, but they're not smart enough not to be evil. That's not smart enough. Now they might actually be smart, but they're not being smart. They're not being as smart as they are. If you're a smart person, you should see your way out of evil. Now, in the American culture, there's one person who's popped up as a smart person amongst conservatives that I hear. His name George Will. I've heard him talk on TV or whatever. He writes columns or something. But even he, a few months ago, said, compared Trump to Hitler and the Republicans to the Nazis. And saying, this is an important warning to people. Hey, be smarter and stop this. See through it and stop it. And that's from their most famous, smartest conservative. So even within the stupidity of conservatism, because that guy's not smart enough or he wouldn't be conservative, their smartest people will ultimately see through it. And the stupidest people will ultimately see through it, because there'll be enough information out there that most people, lots of people, have been restricted from, that you'll be able to see what's really going on. Now, these things line up on every level. They're too stupid to want to save the planet. They're too stupid to be, or it's too much stupidity being spread around to be environmentalist, or to stop electing rapists to the Supreme Court, or to know that no means no, not no means yes, as Kavanaugh's fraternity brothers chant. Like, they're promoting stupidity, promoting a genocide by telling people not to wear masks and the virus is fake, promoting this idea that democracy can't work, all this stuff. It's all to keep people as stupid and fearful and divided as possible. When you're being smart, you know that these divisions aren't real. You know that the fear isn't even real. There is real fear, but we need a revolution of smart to stop the powers that are instilling the fear and that are dragging us through the stupidity, or trying to make people as stupid as possible. We need that in every way we can get it. So, but the thing is, we can be smart enough. There's a smart way of doing things. I've called it a pillow revolution for years now online, so you can check the hashtag pillow revolution if you can find it, if they haven't censored it too much. But the reason I say that is because we can do it from home. It doesn't have to be a violent revolution. We can do this revolution from home, from our beds, with a pillow. Now, we already have umbrellas and stuff out at the protests to stop their tear gas and things like that, but I don't know how useful pillows would actually be in the protests, except for to sleep on or to, absorb some of the impact from the cops charging and beating people. But I mean, that's useful. Or if they're getting exploded when the cops are beating people and stuff, then that would be a good visual. So maybe people will consider using pillows, in real life. But I'm talking about, from my part, stuck at home, wanting to participate in democracy or trying to do something, trying to make videos like this to talk to people. Since Facebook and stuff is so restricted, you can't really say or do anything on there. So trying to reach out and get in touch with folks, and please comment and let me know what you think. But the idea is to be smart instead of being stupid. And I'm not calling you stupid. I'm saying we have been subjected to this program of stupidity and making people stupid and keeping people as stupid as possible. And it's real obvious who the people are. They're the same bad guys who do all the bad stuff. Like on a collective level, they're responsible for all this evil, wanting to perpetuate war and enslavement of people and injustice and poverty and disease. We're smart enough. We have, through the Bernie campaign and stuff, shown that we can see a good way of doing things beyond all this stupidity that lives up to the intelligence that we have. And we're all smart enough to take part in that. Like, I was going to write this down, but maybe some people can't read, and that's okay. I love books and reading and stuff. I think it's good to encourage everyone to learn to read, but it's not that you have to learn different skills to participate. If you can, great. Like I said, being smart makes you smarter, and will hopefully make you enjoy. When you're exercising being smart, it will make you enjoy learning more things. But don't think that you have to put off what you can do now for some later time. When you graduate or whatever it is. Like, you can do things now because you're smart enough, and you're smarter than anybody else in the way that you are. So there's something maybe that you could do or you could say, like, the girl who hashtag Black Lives Matter for the first time. I don't know if she's written anything else so great since then. I should look her up or find out. But that's great. That's a good start. Anybody is capable of doing something that changes the world, and I use that as a simple example. But pursue it. Like, keep doing everything you can do, and especially if you have an artistic temperament, or discover that you do. Because in the same way, some people don't think, well, I'm not smart. Some people think, I'm not an artist. Discover that you are. Discover that you are an artist. You are smart. Watch some Bob Ross. He'll teach you. Or, do things that bring it out of you. And it doesn't have to be the things you expect, that you fit in with things you've seen before. That's what it's all about. Being you, being uniquely you, and being as smart and with it as you can be. Now, I consider myself a very smart person. I've made some really stupid mistakes, and maybe that's what prompted me to make this video now. So try to stay smarter and get smarter and help other people be smarter, because we got an easy choice here. Like, I'm smart enough to have wanted Bernie to be our president, but I'm also smart enough not to be mad about it and say, I'm going to vote Biden, get this thing going, and continue to participate. Because it's stupid to think that's all you have to do. That's part of the stupid people's program, to try to get people to think, hey, you can't do anything by voting, or once you do, it's done. No, you got to participate, and we're going to be doing that because we've seen how important it is. It's cost many people their lives, and a whole lot of people, all of us, our freedoms in lots of ways, that we need to get those back. And we have them within ourselves. That's how we get the best freedoms in the first place, is because we're, even the founding fathers were smart enough to notice some things, and we can improve on that, but not by dragging ourselves back to it all the time. So do everything we can do. Pack the court, whatever they call it, like, remove evil people, remove traitors. Like, don't let treason and genocide be an option. And remove Facebook. Like, I mean, nationalize Facebook is my claim. We should get rid of Zuck, like lock him up for treason and seize all his properties. But let every nation run their own Facebook and have like a UN Facebook, and have it be like whatever it is. And if people aren't doing it right, we can criticize them for it or whatever. But we don't have that option now. So we need to do things that allow information to spread, that allow views to be shared, that allow democracy to come back, because we've lost a lot of it. And, like, thanks, Putin, like, yeah, you won that round, but like, this comes back to bite you because you bit off more than you can chew. There's smart people in Russia too, and they're smart enough to see through you and to see through this, and we're smart enough to help them do that once we finish dealing with the mess you've created here. So, you might be a chess player or a 4D chess player, but there's 5D too. Like, it goes beyond whatever bullshit you can put out there, and we can all do that together. So I encourage everyone watching this to share it or comment or whatever you can do, like respond. Make your own thing to tell people what your views are. Awaken your best person, and let's get this vote, but let's get this justice for everybody too, and save the world, because we are all in this together, and everybody's sensing it and coming together. But don't think that everyone's doing it, so we don't have to, because there could be the missing thing that only you can provide, and everyone has their own intelligence that's perfect and good. And just go with it. Go with the things that and the things that are good, and the things that make you feel good, and get more of it, bring more of it to other people. And thanks for watching, and let's save the world. Let's have a good time. Love you. Thanks for watching.